Good afternoon all, how you doing? It's been a while, hasn't it? It's been a while since I've made a video. I've still got the Brenell on my work top here, work table, whatever you call it, workbench, whatever. But anyway, this video is going to be titled how to use a Brenell for testing purposes using a Gramdeck. Yeah, look at that, the old Gramdeck. I've got a couple of these actually, because the reason why I bought one, as I said, you can use the unit that comes with it and you can turn your record player into a record player. Sorry, the other way around. You can get it right. You can turn your ordinary old record player into a tape recorder. That's better, Harvey. And I've got the other unit, but the reason why I really wanted one of these preamps is because I can test the machine out without having to plug it in to the, put it back into the main unit, into the main case, and then putting the amplifier back by using this method. So I've taken this is a direct connection from the head, and it's used these coaxial connectors like the TV aerial plugs. So that's what I used to use, and it works pretty well. I've changed some of these capacitors already, the old waxy ones, the 25 microfarad ones, but I've had to put 22, and you can't get these 25 ones anymore. So I've only changed 4. There's a few more in there I need to change. There's a couple of more waxy ones there, as you can see. So I'm going to change them all eventually, but I just wanted to try it quickly. And I've had to ask Andy from Vintage Electronics Repair? That's it. Vintage Electronics Repair, Andy. Watch his channel because it's really, really good. I'm going to put a link at the bottom, because he does all various stuff like this. He does tape machines, he does all the vintage valve amps, or tube as you say in the States. So he does all different various items, like radiograms, everything, all the stuff I like. So anyway, back to this. I've had to ask Andy actually for a bit of help with his Gramdeck. He's a bit of an expert on these things. And what I did, I tried it said there, extension loudspeaker, as you can see, extension loudspeaker. And I thought you could plug that into the speaker, into any old loudspeaker, and it will give you output, but it doesn't. That's for recording. So I found out from Andy. So it's a mine of information when it comes to Gramdecks. It's really, really good. So anyway, I've had to set up an temporary little earth connector, piece of wire going to the negative terminal on the battery. I use red, but it doesn't matter. Whatever. Yeah, so it's earth now, because when I first plugged it in, it was going really bad earth problem, because this is not in the case, you see, so it's not earthed, it's in its case. Well, it's out the case, rather. Get it right. Can't get it right today, can I? But yeah, so still in this sort of chassis form. Right, you want to hear it. So this works great. So literally all you do, if you've got one of these old machines and you've got a direct connection to the head, you just plug it in where it says head, put the 2 terminals on, PP9. Well, actually, the reason why I've got it like this, because I'm not really finished doing the capacitors yet. I've got the box up there, and these new PP9s don't fit, they're fatter. So I'm going to get a little battery block and put in 6 AA batteries. And I'll have to cut these off, unfortunately, and put on a little PP3 tag, connector tag, because as I said, I won't be able to use it inside its box, which is a real shame. I hate cutting these things off. In fact, I might even put another lead direct into it and just save these for something else, another project, I don't know. But yeah, anyway, so it sounds great. Right, is the amplifier on? No, I'm using a little cheap Chinese amp again. Oh, this thing's quite useful actually. Seems to work for everything. I don't know. Alright, what's that on? No, I don't want. Oh, I don't want the radio. I don't want Bluetooth. That's it. Auxiliary. Oh, it was an auxiliary. Oh, idiot. It was already on auxiliary. Right, so there we go. So what you do, just turn on to playback. Oops, I need 2 hands for this one because it's not in this box. Hang on a second. Can't do it one-handed. Yes, I can. Right, now you can hear the hissing. And before it was really bad. Without the earth, it was like bad. That's it. That's how it should work. So there we go. Got remote for the little amp, which I'll use in a minute. So anyway, yeah. So this is how you can use. As I said, without putting all this stuff in. Say I'm going to check the heads, because I didn't know whether the heads are faulty. These German heads, Bogen, they tend to go open circuit. That's why I prefer the original Brenell heads, the older ones. They're much better, more reliable. These things, they tend to go open circuit if you mistreat them a bit or leave them in the damp. They're notorious for that. But to see if this head was still working, this is, I didn't want to put it all back in its case again, put the amplifier in, because the amplifier gets power, the deck gets power from the amplifier rather. Then you've got separate power supply in that as well. So if I had a bigger bench, I could buy an old Brenell, take the power supply out and put it in this little box, whatever, and I can use that as the main power supply. But this Gramdeck just helps a hell of a lot. So there we go. This is what I've been doing. Right, let's play the tape. And it should play. If there's something there. I can hear a bit of music in the background. Hang on a minute. Trust me to be in the wrong part. The volume up. Oh. Why is it coming through weak? Maybe I'm in the wrong spot. Yeah, I am in the wrong spot. Oh! Good God! As you can hear, it works. So I was on the quiet spot there. I think I erased a portion of the tape there. I was experimenting. But there we go. It works. It's damn remote. It's rubbish. So, pretty good, eh? The old Gramdeck. And the reason why I'm using this music, because there's no copyright. Hopefully. Yeah, it's pretty quiet as well. And I still need to change another 5 or 6 different capacitors in this thing. I mean, as I said, I've only changed the main ones there. And these were reading very high. They're supposed to be 25 microfarad. In fact, they were reading, one of them was 60, 65. Another one was 48. Another one was about 67. So they're reading very high. And probably the other ones as well, they're reading high, but that's the next thing now. I've got to order some capacitors and get them in there, and I'll try again, and then get a battery pack, and then I can put the smaller pack in. It's a shame this don't fit no more, but it's just the early one. See, I've got the early one here, actually. Look at that. Original, ever ready. That was inside one of these units, would you believe? And it's much smaller in dimensions. It's more square, if you see what I mean. Hang on. Let's get it next to it. I don't want to mess up these wires here. Yeah, it's skinnier. The other one is a bit fatter, believe it or not. But this is an original one from the 60s. Look at that. Cool, eh? Luckily it didn't leak. Thank God for that. It's starting to go a bit funny on one of those on the neg terminal there, negative one. Look at that. Just starting to go there. But this is from the early 60s. So I'm going to hang on to that. You can always take the casing off and restuff it, and you can do all sorts of things, but good, eh? But these were smaller, much smaller, and this to fit into the little section there, the little cutout in the case. But this one won't fit. I've tried it, and I don't want to like break the case or whatever, mess it all up. So yeah, it's quiet now. Without this earth, oh my God, you should hear it. It's like. As I said, the machine is not earthed. It should be earthed, but it's not in this case. So once it's back in this case, then I can dispense with a Gramdeck and just use it with the proper Gramdeck unit. I'll demonstrate that at a later date. Actually, if you want to see a Gramdeck in action, just go to Vintage Electronics Repair, Andy's site, and he's got lots of demos on the Gramdeck. You'll love it. Learn a lot from him. He knows these bloody things inside out. I'm not kidding. But there we go, yeah. So the machine's working good now. As I said, I think it's ready to go back in its case. Oh, until I change a few components on the amplifier. A few old black hunt caps I need doing. So, but apart from the mechanics on this, top of the class. Look at that. Perfect. What else have we got on this tape? This is just a scratch tape, demo tape. It's got so many splices on this tape, and I creased up one section because I had my hand on the that's the height adjustment for the tape, and it came loose and I crushed the tape a bit, but I don't care. This is a very, very old tape, so just use it for messing around really. I've got so many tapes you wouldn't believe. Sounds damn good for this little Gramdeck. And remember, the signal is direct from the head, direct. So as it says, it's a preamplifier. So the very, very low voltage signal comes from the head, goes into that, and then I fed it into cheap Chinese amp. Perfect. Tell you what, these little cheap Chinese amps, get one. They're fantastic. They're worth their weight in gold. I think I paid about £25, something like that for it, something like that. And this is what I've been doing my Elvis stuff, all my karaoke stuff, because it's got a mic input, there's Bluetooth, USB, and there's the little memory cards with all my backing songs. But I've got a brand new unit, and it's much better than this, because this thing hasn't got reverb, and I've got a new unit, it's got reverb in it. But I'm going to set it up in my front room. I know I've been promising to get around and doing it, but always at my other channel, on my Harvey De Niro channel. Yeah, I've been threatening I'm going to set it all up and haven't got round to it yet, so I'm really sorry. But I'm going to do another video, not on, I don't know, I might do another one on this and put it on my Harvey De Niro channel. I'm not sure yet. I don't know, I might do. But I'll put a link to this channel, the vintage, my Harvey's Vintage Audio. I'm getting confused. Harvey's Vintage Audio Reel to Reel Heaven channel. But there we go, yeah. So then it all works lovely. Turn it off now, save the battery. Can I do it one-handed? Oh, just. That's the trouble when it's not in its proper case, but as I said, I need to do the battery mod. Yeah, so it's moving around like crazy. Never mind. There we go. Actually, I'll leave it on because I want to play some more tapes. Oh, I'll do that in a minute. So there we go, how to use a Gramdeck with a Brenell machine if you're servicing one. And you just want to replay, you know, see if the heads are working, whatever. So that's it. This is direct from the head, that red cable. Oh, you can't see it, it's too dark in there. You go straight to the Gramdeck, and you rig up a little battery, PP9 or whatever equivalent, and that's it. I had to put a little earth cable, as I said. I could have done it from the, connected it to the earth cable on there, but I had to move it all in. I couldn't be bothered, just done it temporary on there. Probably get a load of sticky stuff on the post, but I clean off a bit of isopropyl, that's no problem. And I stuck it on the negative terminal. And that's what earths the rest of this machine. Every component's connected to the neg. The negative as the ground. There we go. So that's it. How to use a Gramdeck with a Brenell machine or any other machine that's got a, you know, a cable, a connector that comes straight from the head. So there we go. First time I tried it, and with Andy's help, because as I said, I used the wrong cable. There's two that comes out the Gramdeck actually. One says extension loudspeaker, but don't be fooled. It doesn't connect to it. Well, it connects to an extension loudspeaker on the old radiograms. Used to have an extension loudspeaker socket, so you could record onto a tape recorder. That's how my dad used to record it. For years he'd done that. So everything you regulated, like the tone controls and the volume, had an effect on the recording. So you had to set it to a certain level where it didn't distort. And then he used to plug his tape recorder into the extension loudspeaker sockets and regulate the mic input, the line input on the tape recorder. But yeah, that was how we used to do it years and years and years ago. But now all the recordings are always done from the preamp, direct from there. So you can turn the bass up, treble up, it won't affect the recording. That's how things used to be done, you know, sort of later on. But in the old days, you used to record from the extension speaker sockets. There we go. Right, I hope you found this interesting, and I'm going to play a few more tapes. Then have something to eat. Oh my God, I haven't even had lunch yet, and it's 4:45. Oh my God. But there we go. using a Gramdeck with a Brenell or any other machine that's got a direct output from the head. So, as I say, very unusual to use coaxial connectors, but that's what they used to use in those days. So there we go. Yeah, that's it. Great. Alright then, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll put a link at the bottom to Andy's vintage audio site. It's Vintage Electronics Repair, because actually I spoke to Andy today and he said he was going to come off, he's not going to do any more videos, but you know what, I'm going to miss Andy terribly, because he, as I said, he works on all stuff like this, Gramdecks, reel-to-reels, all tube stuff, valves, all that sort of gear. So you know, it would be a shame if Andy stopped making videos every Sunday, but he said he hasn't had many people watching. So if you can do me a favour and go over and watch him on a Sunday, I think he's going to do a video this Sunday. He said it's going to be his last, but I hope not. Andy, don't go away, mate. Please don't go. Please don't go. That's the song, isn't it? Don't go. I want you to know. Please don't go. Something like that. Shit. There we go. Alright then, I'm going to end this video and I shall talk to you all later. So that's it. Gramdeck. Yep. There was another one I missed actually. I should have bought one for spares. But never mind. Surely be more on the market. Anyway, I'll talk to you all later. Bye for now.